Hello and welcome to How to Make More Sales with me, Anna Payne, supporting you to make more sales in a way that feels good for you and your clients. If you're ready for more sales, more impact, more success, and more money on your terms, you're in the right place. Welcome to the podcast. Sales calls often get a bad reputation. I know a lot of people don't enjoy them. They feel like a drain on time or energy, or that they're speaking to the wrong people, or that the calls just don't convert. And all of that tells me that there is an opportunity for most people to improve their process so that it works better, more efficient, more enjoyable, and of course, leading to more sales in less time while still building strong relationships. So if you have ever felt like sales calls are awkward, nerve-wracking, or like you are trying to prove yourself by giving away so much value that there is literally nothing left for people to buy from you, this episode will help you. I am going to walk you through 12 simple opportunities to improve your sales calls, covering what to do before, during, and after a call, with a structure that is going to feel natural, helpful, human, that will build trust and lead to more yeses. And as always, absolutely no scripts, no pressure tactics, no pushiness, just some clear, simple ideas that you can implement straight away to improve your process. Let's get started by looking at some opportunities to improve your process before the calls even happen. Okay, number one, decide if a call is even needed. Getting a call booked is not necessarily the goal. The goal should be getting your prospective client to make a decision about whether or not they want to work with you. And personally, I think a lot of people these days don't want a call. For a lot of people, things can be moved forward quickly and more easily and more comfortably in DMs. So first of all, check if the person actually wants a call or not, because some people actually are ready just to buy in DMs and they just have a quick clarifying question or two that they want to ask. They might want to send you a quick voice note. They might want to hear a voice note back from you. But if that's what they want, if that's how they want to buy, absolutely respect that. Make it easy for them. My own personal experience is that insisting on calls can actually kill a sale. And I say that as a potential client. So recently, I followed somebody who was teaching sales. I always like to see other women who I think are teaching sales really well. So I followed her. Anyway, a day or so later, she sent me a direct message. And actually, it was a really good personal outreach message. It was personal. She paid attention. It wasn't just a copy and paste from somebody that she'd outsourced outreach to. And I thought, oh, nice. I like your process. Anyway, we chatted backwards and forwards. She was asking me questions. And even though in my head I thought, I know she's selling to me, I was quite into it. And I was interested to see what her offer was going to be and where things were going to go. So anyway, backwards and forwards, asked me a few more questions. And I thought, yeah, she's good. This feels really comfortable for me as a client. It's a good experience. She then pitched her group program to me and she thought that I could be a really good fit for it. Okay. So I was like, okay, tell me more about it. This is where it started to crumble for me. She was like, watch this video. It was a 30-minute YouTube video. It might have been longer. I don't really have time. And also this was 9 o'clock at night and I was fine going backwards and forwards, having a little chat in DMs. I wasn't going to go off and watch a long YouTube video that evening. And by the time the next working day rolls around, obviously you're busy. You don't necessarily want to watch a long video. So I'd said to her, how much is your program? What's the investment? I don't disclose that over messages. My process is that you have to watch the video and then we have to get on the call. And then at the end of the call, if you're suitable, I'll tell you the price. And that part just lost me completely. And actually, I'd liked the approach up until that point. If I'm saying, what's the investment, what's the price? Tell me the price. And actually, if it's a price point that feels affordable and manageable, I'll probably just sign up. I don't need to watch a big long video and I certainly don't want to go on a sales call just to find out a price. I like to know upfront because I don't want to waste anybody's time. So for me, she lost that potential sale and that's her process and I respect her process. But for me as a prospective client, that didn't work. And I think she followed up with me once or maybe twice to say, did you watch the YouTube video? No, I didn't. I'm really busy. I don't have time. And then that's it. That's gone cold. So I think there's a real lesson there. If people are giving you an indication that they don't necessarily want a call, but they just have a question, if you feel comfortable, just answer it. I know that some of my prospective clients really want a call, but I would say maybe 70 to 80% of people just want to chat in the DMs and ask a couple of questions, whereas maybe between 20 and 30% of people will say actually a call would be really helpful. So understand that different people have different styles of buying, and make sure that you're not making a call necessary, because I think you'll lose people there because people feel resistant. They love to buy, but they don't necessarily want to feel sold to. So that is tip number one. Make sure that they actually want a call, because I think it's amazing how many sales you can close more quickly and more easily in the DMs. Okay, step number two. If it is going to be a call of some sort, make it really easy to book. Use a booking system like Calendly. This prevents you having that awkward back and forth. Oh, are you free on Tuesday? No, I can't do Tuesday. Can you do Friday? No, I can't do Friday. What about next week? Calendly just lets them go in and book a time, because the more friction and the more time it takes, the more opportunities there are for that thing just to be lost. So Calendly will allow you to get them booked in really easily. It will also automate confirmations and reminders. You can automate sending any useful information in advance if you send out information about your program, about your services, or about what to expect. So it just allows you to reduce friction. The easier it is for people to follow your process, the more likely people are to actually follow through. Number three, ask qualifying questions before you get on the call. So if you are just starting out, you might decide you just want to talk to everybody because you want to practice having these conversations, you want to build relationships, and you want to build up your market knowledge. But in the long run, you probably want to be a bit more protective of your time and your energy. So asking some qualifying questions will help you make sure that you are speaking to the right people. So again, the beauty of using a booking system is that you can ask some of these key questions up front that will help you understand who they are before, why they've booked the call, and any other information that's relevant. So for example, I always ask where they see their biggest opportunity, what the next goal they are working towards is, and where specifically they feel that they need support in their business or in their sales process, or what feels challenging for them right now. I also have a multiple choice checkbox that tells them working with Anna one-to-one will typically start from X amount, and then they can select A, yes, understood, I'm willing and ready to invest at this level. B, yes, understood, but I might need a payment plan. Or C, no, I'm not in a position where I can invest at this level. Please redirect me to your free or lower cost resources. And then I know a bit about what they want, why they booked the call, what their aspirations are, and that they have confirmed to me that yes, they are in a position where they understand the pricing and they are able to make that financial commitment. Now, bonus tip, immediately before the call, take 5 or 10 minutes. Breathe, smile, get up from your desk, move around, shake. Do whatever you need to do to get into good energy. Read the call booking notes or look at their social media, look at their website. Get yourself into informed, positive, confident energy and feel clear on your offers and your pricing. And there is nothing worse than sitting before a call thinking, oh, I don't know what to charge them. I don't know what my price is. So just take the time you need. Don't go straight from one call straight away into the next without having time just to take a few deep breaths and get yourself in that position where you can give that person on the call the best version of you and the best service and value that you can. Okay, right. That's all things you can do before the call. How about during the call? Idea number 4, set a suitable time for how long you want your sales calls to last. For me, I say 15 minutes is absolutely enough to understand and diagnose what's going on and to make my offer. If it's longer than 15 minutes, I will tend to go into solve and free consultancy mode. So that 15 minutes makes sure that I stay focused on the purpose of the call. And the purpose of the call is to get them to a point where they make a clear decision about whether or not they want to work with you. And tempting as it is to help and solve, just be aware that when you over deliver and you go into solve mode on your sales call, actually you can remove the reason that people want to buy from you. And it's not about holding things back or gatekeeping or not being helpful, but actually from a prospective client perspective, that can be quite overwhelming. I remember when I was less experienced in this sector doing sales calls, and I would give massive value and I would maybe spend 45 minutes or an hour and map so many things out that by the end of it, they would be like, wow, I've got so many ideas. I've got so many things that I need to work through. I'll come back to you when I've done that. And actually I'm doing that person a disservice because we haven't gone through the process properly. I haven't helped them to implement. I haven't been able to get into the depth that I would normally do. So it's just about understanding that the call is not free consultancy. So absolutely, if they mention areas that they feel they have problems, you want to acknowledge that and confirm that it is solvable, but you're not able to solve them on the call. You confirm that that's what happens inside the offer once they've bought from you. So short calls, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, perfect. Okay. Action number 5, be the leader. You want to set the scene. You take ownership from the very beginning. So yes, you spend 30 seconds or 60 seconds building rapport, enough just to make people feel relaxed and get a feel for each other. And then you're straight into setting the scene, letting them know how long you have together, what you will cover, and what the outcome will be. So for example, we've got 15 minutes together today, and I am going to ask you lots of questions during that time. I'm also going to give you the opportunity to ask me whatever questions you want to ask. We'll get to the root of exactly what is going on in your business or in your sales pipeline. And by the end of this conversation, we should both know whether it makes sense for us to go forward and work together. And if so, what that could look like. Does that sound okay? So this builds trust. It makes the call feel structured and safe. And you're also clearly signposting that yes, you will more than likely be selling them a solution at the end of the call. That works really well. Action 6, during the call, ask better questions and really listen. So many people see a sales call as an opportunity just to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk about their expertise, their offer, all the things that are included in the offer. And then, okay, off you go. Let me know if you want to, you can come back, or here's a link if you want to buy it. That is not a good sales call. So listen. Use a mix of open and more direct questions. Open questions are the kind of questions that get them to set the scene and to talk, so you can really listen and you can take note of the important points. And then use more direct or closed questions when you are drilling down and working towards closing, or you want to clarify information. And remember, you're not just gathering information, you're actually, by asking the right questions, helping your prospective client to think about what is going on for them. So ask the right questions, listen carefully, reflect back what you hear, and confirm that that's correct, or ask additional questions. That really active listening absolutely helps people feel seen, heard, and understood. And it is so important in your sales process. So be a good listener, be an active listener. Okay, step 7. Once you have asked all of your questions, before you present the offer, I want you to clearly define the gap. That might sound like, okay, can I reflect back to you? This is what I'm seeing. And you say where you see that they are now, where they say that they want to be, what is actually getting in their way or stopping them from getting there. Reflect that back clearly and ask them, does that sound fair? Do you agree? And this, I think, is really important and really powerful. It's very quick, but it builds their clarity about where they are now, where they want to be, what's stopping them. And it is a micro close moment. You're not asking for the sale, but you are getting them to confirm that they agree. And this naturally creates their desire for the next step, for the solution, for the thing that is going to get them from where they are now to where they want to be, that's going to solve that problem for them. So step 8, only now that you have got really clear on their needs and they have confirmed that they agree with your assessment of their needs, ask permission to sell. I will always say, okay, great. Can I share with you how I think I can best support you? And wait for them to say yes. And again, that's a micro conversion moment. You're not selling the full thing, but you're getting their buy-in all the way through the call. And when they say yes, make your offer, keep it simple, link directly to what they have said, and focus on the outcome that you deliver. You do not need to list every single thing included and every detail at this stage. You keep it very focused on what is important to them and what the transformation or outcome is. And then you can ask, does that feel like the right next step for you? And pause and let them respond. Action 9, be open, invite questions, and see questions are a good sign. Treat them as part of your sales process, not something to push through or try and dodge or avoid. So answer honestly, give people space to think if they need it, and don't see answering questions as handling objections, but just actually see it as part of your process, helping people to feel fully comfortable. Don't try and oversell or overcommit or panic and think that you have to apply random discounts or bonuses because you need to close the sale. So somebody might come on a call with me and they might say, okay, that sounds great, but I also need X, Y, Z. And that's not part of my offer. So I might say, okay, great. Well, I can do that, but that would be at an additional price. What I wouldn't say is, oh yeah, sure, I'll add that in. Or somebody says, oh, that sounds great, but I can't afford it. No problem. I'll do that for half price. Instead, I might say, okay, let's talk more about that. It's about finding solutions that are a win-win. And oftentimes, people at the end of a sales call will just say, that's great, I just need to think about it now. You will get some people who will just at the end of the call say, yeah, I'm in, like, let's go for it. Fantastic. But other people, they are never going to buy on the call because that's not how they operate. So somebody says to me, I need to think about it. I am not going to try and push through that. I'll say, absolutely. Of course, you take time. I want you to make a really positive, confident decision about whatever the next step is for you. But I'm also going to ask them, do you mind if I ask what exactly is it that you need to think about? Is it the offer itself? Is it whether it's us working together in general? Is it the investment? Is it the timing? Like, I want to understand where there's hesitation. Just asking that clarifying question can draw that out. And sometimes you can just work through what might be a better solution. So if they say they need to think about it, absolutely respect that. But what do you need to think about? And do you have all the information you need right now to be able to make that decision? And then I am going to agree a time with them to check back in. So don't shy away from questions or try and steamroller forward without inviting questions. Don't try and push somebody to make a decision before they're ready, but equally keep them engaged and let them know exactly what the next step is. If you've presented your offer and you're not getting much back, ask more questions. Does this feel like a good fit? How does that sound? Would you like to go ahead? So all of these questions can really help you understand what is going on for people. And last quick note about during the call. Sometimes the answer will be no. And that might be you as the seller thinking, this person isn't a good fit either for me or for this offer. I don't want to sell this to them. That's absolutely okay. You're not obligated to sell to anybody or to everybody, but sometimes somebody on the call might decide that it's not the right fit. And also, that is okay. Very often they don't want to tell you it's not the right fit. So they'll say, I just want to have some time to think about it and I'll come back to you. I would rather they just told me then that it's not the right fit or that it's not the right timing, which is why asking those clarifying questions can be really helpful. And no matter how good you are at sales, we're never going to have a 100% close rate. So be okay with the no's. Right. After the call, how can you optimize your process and your conversions? Step 10, follow up immediately. I would always send something saying, hey, I love chatting with you earlier. I think we can do some really good work together. Here's the proposal or the link to buy or the contract or whatever is relevant. I will also ask them to come right back to me if they've got any questions, and I'll let them know that if I don't hear from them over the next couple of days, I will check in with them. Step 11, follow up. And this is not about chasing or pushing for a yes. You are simply supporting a decision, and recognize that sometimes people will have a question or niggle or doubt. But life gets busy, things happen, they don't know how to explain it, and it's easy, it just gets lost in and busy inboxes. So actually, if you follow up, that gives them an opportunity to ask any of these questions. For me, if I've presented an offer, I will follow up until I get a yes or a no from this person. And then if it's a no, of course, I'm going to respect the answer. I am not going to try and change their mind. But it might be a no, not right now. So I know that I can follow up again in some time. Or it might be a, I don't actually think this is the right fit for me. I don't want to come into your group program. I'd rather work with you one-to-one. Or actually, I can't afford the investment to work with you at this level. What are the alternatives? And finally, action step 12, track your data. So just keep a really simple record of the number of sales calls booked, the show up rate. Yes, you hope everybody's going to show up, but some people don't. Conversion rate and where the leads came from and how long it takes people to convert after you've had a call with them. So this gives you a really clear picture of what is working, what normal looks like in your business, and also a baseline from which you can improve at these different points of data. Okay, so those were your 12 steps. I hope after listening, you have seen some almost immediate opportunities to refine your sales calls, and I'd love to hear how that goes for you. you. So as always, feel free to get in my DMs and let me know what action you've taken as a result of listening to this episode. I always love to hear that and to chat about it. If you would like to make more sales, I have a free sales strategy scorecard. It is a short quiz on my website and in the show notes for this episode that will help you identify your biggest opportunities to increase your sales. It'll take you about 2 minutes to complete. You get a personalized report and it's absolutely free. annapayne.online/quiz to complete it. Please do go and put your sales strategy to the test. It is really helpful. It will help you find your biggest opportunities and it will also uncover any tricky blind spots when it comes to sales because we don't know what we don't know. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe, leave a review, and if you know someone who would find this series helpful, please share it with them. I appreciate every listen, every share, every subscribe, and every review. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you on the next episode.